Hello everybody, and welcome to the Integrating Video into the Teaching and Learning Environment presentation for EME6507. In this presentation, I will provide an overview of video, including elements and some general benefits and uses. We will then discuss benefits and drawbacks of student-centered uses of video and teacher-centered uses of video. And following this, there will be a discussion of some learning tools and instructional strategies related to the integration of video into the classroom. Finally, some resources and examples of video use in the classroom will be provided, as well as a list of some of the more common video development tools. The use of video in the classroom has become very ubiquitous. While it has been around for a long time, new advancements in technology are providing for new methods of integrating video into the classroom. One of the reasons for the use of video in the classroom is that it is good for both auditory and visual learners. While this is a limited view of quote-unquote learning styles, these are two issues that must be taken into consideration when developing learning materials. Another reason for the integration of video into the teaching and learning environment is that it can be very useful in engaging in students, much like audio. If used appropriately, video can be very useful as a tool for motivation, as well as providing interactive learning environments for students. One issue with video is that research has shown that it is most effective when used as an enhancement to a lesson. So video is less beneficial when used as a standalone teaching tool. However, adding video to the learning environment is more beneficial than not. It should just be used in conjunction with other teaching and learning materials, not alone. In this presentation, we're going to focus on two types of uses of video in the classroom: student-centered and teaching-centered. For the purposes of this presentation, we are going to define student-centered as situations in which the learner is actively involved in the production, editing, or manipulation of video rather than just passive viewing. Passive viewing under teacher control will be considered teacher-centered. Student-centered uses of video primarily include video production. The benefits of video production include the development of higher-order thinking skills, personal and social skills, and raising awareness. Video production requires the ability to critically analyze information, such as deciding what should be included in the film and what should be omitted, determining the effectiveness of shots and angles, as well as filtering appropriate and inappropriate information. Problem solving is also evident throughout the video production process. There are many obstacles in filming that must be addressed, such as location access or the types of equipment to be used. During the video development process, students must be able to address the numerous obstacles that arise in an effective and efficient manner. Also, during the production of video, especially content-specific video, research is necessary. It is through this process that research skills are developed. Also, while not often thought about, logic skills are prevalent throughout the video development process. Issues such as what to do in certain lighting situations, if subjects aren't cooperating, and others all provide the need for important decision-making skills. These decision-making skills require the use of sound logical skills. Planning of a video is critical to its success. While one of the more invisible acts that go into the development of video, planning is also one of the most crucial. Filmmaking in the classroom allows students to experience planning and management skills. As video requires extensive planning and problem solving, it promotes the development of process thinking skills. This is a skill, as with many video production skills, such as problem solving and planning, that will translate into other aspects of their learning as well as life. There are a number of personal and social benefits that are promoted through the use of video production as an instructional strategy. These include creativity, student ownership, leadership and cooperative learning skills, improved self-esteem, and motivation. First, video production is about creativity. This involves students examining an approach to a problem or scenario, examining it from multiple perspectives, and then creating solutions. So, during the video production process, students are allowed to explore the creative process. One way to promote this, as well as analytic and problem-solving skills, is to provide students with open-ended, ill-structured scenarios. Video production provides students with a sense of ownership over the project. This, as research has shown, acts as a catalyst for other benefits, such as deeper knowledge construction. Also, as video production requires the efforts of a team, the development of leadership and collaborative skills are promoted. There are a number of ways in which video production is motivational, as well as improve self-esteem. First, students can work in small groups where their input goes towards production of a film. Second, the development of interpersonal relationships are available throughout the development process. And third, project-based learning helps to build confidence. Finally, it provides an arena for the presentation of individual viewpoints. Video production also has a number of other awareness benefits. Research, planning, and other video production-related experiences help create new knowledge for the learner. When provided with appropriate scenarios, this knowledge fosters awareness of issues such as family, social, or societal issues, self, and the community. While the benefits of student-centered uses of video in the classroom are quite impressive, there are also a number of advantages to teacher-centered uses of video. First, the use of video in the classroom provides a common experience for all students. While reading or even student-centered video lessons promote individual student experiences, teacher-centered uses of video provide a more universal learning experience. Second, teaching with video generates interest. Video can often provide a hook as well as maintain student interest throughout the learning scenario. Next, video is useful for providing a different approach or perspective on how a subject or topics should be taught. It allows for students to view or visit faraway places that would otherwise be impossible. It provides visualization of abstract ideas, making them more clear. And finally, video in the classroom promotes critical viewing skills. As students view more video, they become more able to select which material is important and which is unimportant, as well as distinguish other characteristics of video and information. While there are numerous benefits to video in the classroom, there are also a number of drawbacks that must be considered. First, using video, especially student video production, is very time-intensive. Sometimes it may be necessary to determine whether the use of video addresses enough of the curriculum, say a large unit versus a small unit, to warrant the time. While there are numerous added learning benefits, it may not always be appropriate due to these time constraints. Second, video, and especially video production, can require some expensive equipment. While in recent years this has decreased significantly in cost, there are still a substantial upfront cost associated with the development of video. Also, the number of various pieces of equipment is important. For example, if students are producing videos in small groups, then multiple video cameras are necessary. While this can be addressed by having groups work on different assignments at one time, equipment issues must still be addressed. Third are planning issues. The amount of time to plan for using video in the classroom is difficult. There will be students of different levels and doing different scoped projects, as well as other issues. So it is often difficult to effectively plan for the use of video in the classroom. Fourth, video production can be chaotic. While it is often good chaos, certain learners may have difficulty in this type of learning environment. Next, there may be some technical know-how on the part of the teacher and the students. This also has time implications in addition to the video production and development time, because students must be taught how to use or produce the video. And finally, video can be expensive. As mentioned previously, there's a great deal of equipment involved in the video production process, such as cameras, software, videotapes, DVDs, computers, etc. And this can be very costly and often limited in a school's budget. While there are many learning benefits to integrating video in the classroom, the teacher must be cognizant of the drawbacks and do as much as possible to minimize their effects on the learning environment. There are many teacher-centered uses of video in the classroom as well. First, and probably the most common use, video can be a source of information. It is particularly useful for illustrating situations that are impossible to reproduce in the classroom, such as providing an in-depth view of the pyramids or other architectural pieces around the world. Second, video is very useful for modeling or illustrating various processes. This also relates to the first use, as video is useful for modeling situations which could not be reproduced in the classroom, such as planetary motion or molecular structure. Third, video is very useful as an information storage system. With advances in technology, it is easy to store video clips of information and recall them at any given moment. Fourth, video is useful as a packaging device, allowing for the combination of audio and visual media elements such as still photos or others. At the same time, video can magnify details of information. And finally, video is very useful as an introduction to material. Because it is engaging and motivating to students, interest can be stimulated, and this can transfer into a stimulus for discussion. While these are a few of the uses of video in the classroom from a teacher-centered perspective, it is important to note that the use of video in the classroom is limited only by the imagination of the teacher. Prior to the integration of video in the classroom, there are a number of things that need to be done. First, the video needs to be previewed for content. There are numerous accounts of teachers either losing their jobs or being reprimanded for using videos in their classroom that contained inappropriate content. Second, review or develop of related materials must be done. Make sure there's a correlation between these materials and the video as well as the curriculum. Third, determine how the video will be implemented and which portions will be used. Will you use the entire video? Will you only use certain segments? How is this going to be addressed? Next, make sure the classroom is appropriately prepared. If you are having students view the video in small groups, have the classroom set up accordingly. If you're having students produce video and they will need equipment, have a checkout process in place. Finally, before using video, have an activity that stimulates both student interest in the content as well as their pre-existing knowledge. Doing these things will help assure the effective integration of video in the learning environment. There are a number of things you can do during the use of video to increase its effectiveness. First, provide students with a focused assignment to complete during the viewing. One thing this does is allow students to focus more on what is important and less on extraneous pieces of information. Second, provide a great deal of guidance during the viewing process, and use only single short segments. These go hand in hand, as it is much easier to provide guidance for small segments of video than it is for larger segments. Third, encourage students to examine the production techniques. This is particularly useful if they will be creating videos in the class in the future. I'm reminded of a time in grad school where we discussed transitions in a video productions course, and after discussing the transitions, we looked at a number of real-world examples. For a while after that, I had trouble viewing TV without noticing the types of transitions that were utilized throughout, and prior to the video production course, that was not something I'd ever noticed. Fourth, use the pause button a lot. This is useful for guiding discussion and directing the learner experience. Watch a clip, pause the video, and then ask questions, and then repeat this process. Next, show the video a second time. This is beneficial for reinforcement and to allow those that miss material the first time to catch up. Finally, try using the video in varied ways. For example, show the video without sound and ask students what they think of certain aspects of it. Try using closed captioning instead of sound. And this would be useful in a number of learning scenarios and for a number of different audiences. All of these, during the viewing process, will make for an improved instructional video experience. It is also important to provide some sort of after-viewing activity. Whether it is a class discussion, summary, or something else, these will do a nice job of wrapping up the integration of video experience. This helps to provide some reinforcement and closure on the topic. Here, I provided a couple of examples of lesson plans that integrate video into the teaching and learning environment. These will be provided in the other course materials, but feel free to click on them and explore them here. Here, I provided a number of resources related to integrating video into the classroom. The first resource provides a glossary resources, tips, articles, and sample videos. The second, Video Classroom, provides a video library of classrooms using technology in the classroom. The Video Ideas resource provides a number of ideas related to integrating video in the classroom, as well as other teaching and learning environments. And then finally, the book, The Director in the Classroom, is an excellent resource for any teacher wishing to implement the use of video in their classroom. There are a number of tools used to produce and edit video. And while you may use something different in this course, some of the more common ones include Adobe Premiere, Final Cut, iMovie, Windows Movie Maker, and Camtasia. Above, I've provided links to the product sites for all of these. All of these have various benefits and drawbacks, and it is really up to the user to decide which is most useful for them. I would like to mention Camtasia though, as it's a very nice tool for screen capture videos. And it actually has an accompanied product called Jing, which is free, Jing, that allows you to create up to 5 minutes of video, of screen capture video, as well as capture still images of screen capture shots. This concludes the Integrating Video into the Classroom presentation.